Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video, I'm going to do the Great Gatsby 100th tag. I was tagging videos by Pat at Book Chat with Pat 8668 and Callie at Books I'm Not Reading. I repeat what they said to properly credit the creators of this tag. The Great Gatsby 100th tag. This is an original tag created by Sherri at Books and Radio Plays, Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and Alan at Big Hard Books 770. In honor of the 100th anniversary of the publication of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, The Great Gatsby. There are 6 prompts in this tag. And I should say I haven't read The Great Gatsby. Unless we read it in school, it's possible, but I don't recall it. I don't think we did. The way these prompts are set up, there is a first part of the tag is about personal question to the person responding, and the second part is to select a book. And the first prompt is, do you like parties? And the answer is no. When I was young, I was that person who would go to a party with my friends or meet up with them and hang around with them for a bit, and then they would wander off, and I was the person who would kind of be sitting on the couch and not really talking to anybody and skulk out of the place. So I did make a decision at some point that I just wasn't going to go to parties anymore, and probably wasn't the right decision. The right decision would have been to try to get better at talking to people, but I never did. And I have gone to things such as occasional wedding or something like that, but other than that, I don't go to parties. And at this stage of life, I'm really not interested in trying to become better at interacting at parties. Just don't have the energy for that. The second part of the first prompt is name a book with a big or small party in it. That is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. In this book, there is a woman who is a big mover and shaker in the black literary world, and she stages parties, and her parties are such that partly because she's powerful, partly because they're interesting, she can say give a group of people 6 hours notice she's having a party, and they'll be there. The first part of the second prompt is, what would you do to get the love of your life back? And I would say I wouldn't. I'm very set in the ways I live my life. I really wouldn't be willing to change my life for anyone else. Very, very structured. I have my routines. That being said, I wouldn't mind, say, meeting up with people from my past I haven't in a long time, especially thinking friends more than anything. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I never do anything to pursue it. If it does happen, it's usually because someone else pursues it, and I just agree to it. And even that I don't always, because like I said, I'm kind of set in my ways. The second part of prompt 2 is name a book where a lost love is the center of the story. Not a romance, that's too easy. I'm going to say Beloved by Toni Morrison. There are 2 former slaves in the story. I think the woman's name is Seethe. I can't remember what the man's name it was. And after years apart, he came back into her life. Could be said part of it is lust. A good part of it, not just love, but nevertheless, they were apart for a long time, and they got back together. Actually, they weren't really I should say too, they weren't really necessarily lovers when they were slaves in a ranch or in a farm, but they did become lovers, and like I said, lust was part of it. The third prompt, the first part of the third prompt is Nick, the narrator, was both the character in the story and the narrator. He really put you into the picture. Who's your favorite narrator? I don't really have a favorite, but one I like a lot, I've read one book and a part of the second, partway through the second book, is Emily Wilde in the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett. I really like Emily Wilde. She's a good narrator. The first part of the fourth prompt is, what is some advice given to you in your younger, more vulnerable years that you've been turning over in your mind ever since? The good advice I was given was mainly by an uncle. He would say that if you don't have your health, you don't have everything, so you should take care of it. Haven't always done a great job of it, especially with my eating, but have gone to the doctor regularly and taken medication and tried to exercise and stuff like that. So that was really good advice. And so, very true. If you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. You could have a lot of money, but without your health, it doesn't really matter. I guess there's not actually a second part of this prompt. It doesn't really ask for a book that I see. The fifth prompt is, Tom Buchanan is not a good man, but is done in a very subtle manner. Name a book that the character is not obviously bad, but as you get to know him, he's very bad. This character is Crake and Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. There is a lot of foreshadowing about Crake, but it's really only as the story moves along a fair amount that you realize the depth of things he's willing to do. How I would describe it as evil things that he's willing to do. The sixth prompt is tag others. First, I'll tag anybody who's watching this. If you like to do this prompt, if you like to do this tag, please do so. Whether in a video or do one or more of the prompts in my comments. I'm also going to tag a bunch of people. As I've been doing lately, I'm just going to mention their first names. Their screen names will be in the description. John, Nix, Smitty, Kayla, Milena, Maeve, Cliff, Suey, Nick, Heather, Emily, Brian, Fred, Nicole, Gavin, Flossie, Justin, Kevin, Nigel, Jen, Daniela, Renee, Philip, Elaine, and Felix. Just if you'd like to do it, please do so. I'd be interested to see what answers you come up with. Hope you're having a wonderful reading week. I hope you're having a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.